In this section, we're going to talk about takt time. So which of these is important to your business? Satisfied customers, profit, good bottom line, growth, development of market share, effective use of your people and your plant, maximum capacity production. So why not maximum capacity production? Producing more than the customer requires is overproduction. This is the greatest of the 7 wastes and quite often leads to the occurrence of the other 6 wastes. So the Western approach is that we produce more than we require to allow for problems, so just in case. So this embeds waste into our businesses. Usually this is done using the push production system. So if we consider production operations as a chain, each link producing in isolation at full speed will cause a mismatch between links. Some areas overproduce, some cannot keep up. So in a push production system, what will happen when a link in the chain breaks within that push system? The individual links keep building to schedule and the chain soon backs up. So when you consider the wider system, we see why the stock is present, to buffer the unevenness of work and to buffer the breaks in the chain. So the just-in-time branch of the lean production system, or Toyota production system, is constructed of 4 key elements. So you got pull, continuous flow, takt time and level scheduling. In this section we're going to focus on takt time. So takt is a German word. It describes the conductor's baton. It is the principle that all activity within a business is synchronized by a pulse set by customer demand. So takt time determines the pulse of the production system, determines the pace of sales. It links the production activity to actual customer demand. It also ensures all production activity will be synchronized from first process to final assembly process, leading to flow. So how do we calculate takt time? The takt time relates to the customer demand to the time available. So takt equals production time available divided by customer demand. So time is deducted for lunch and tea breaks, team briefings, TPM breaks, clean down time. So for example, 8 hours times 60 minutes is a 428 minute day. So your time available is 480 minutes minus 20 minutes breaks minus 10 minutes TPM equals 450 minutes. That's your available time. If the customer demand is 500 units per week, then your demand is 500 divided by 5 days equals 100 units per day. So your takt time equals your time available divided by customer demand. So that's 450 minutes divided by 100, which equals 4.5 minutes or 270 seconds. So when we talk about takt time, cycle time, target cycle time and lead time, we shouldn't get these confused. So takt time is the pace at which customer requires a product. Your target cycle time is the pace at which we will produce to ensure we meet the customer requirements. Your cycle time is the time at which an individual process cycles. And your lead time is the total production lead time from product start to finish. So try not to get those terms confused. So here's a graphic demonstrating the difference between cycle time, takt time, your target cycle time and your lead time. So in terms of flow production, each link in the chain takes from the previous link and process is produced to fill the gap that has been created. So what will happen when a link in the chain breaks? So if a link in the chain breaks, the chain stops. If the customer does not pull from the end, the chain stops. So we're not overproducing, we're not wasting effort, resources and activity. So takt time is an enabler for flow. If your work balance is set to takt, the process closest to the customer can pull production through the system at the right pace. This includes material delivery. So this pull removes the requirement for scheduling at each stage, and hence the buffer stocks and work in progress that populate the push process chain. So here we see a typical example of a cafe. You're the owner of the cafe and you're going to work out, based on your customer demand, what your takt time is and what you need to do if that demand increases. So your customer requires 380 mugs of coffee per day. So your takt time is time available divided by customer demand. So time available, 480 minutes, minus 30-minute break, minus 10 minutes team meeting. So you have 440 minutes per day times 60 seconds per minute, divided by 380 products per day. So your takt time is 66 seconds. So here we see a breakdown of how that process is made up. So as you can see, you've got the sequence of activities. Obtain the mug, put the mug down, obtain spoon, put the coffee in the mug, obtain the milk, put the milk in the mug, return the milk, add water to the mug, pick up the mug, place mug on table and return. As you see those broken down in the work stack on the left, you can see the green activities signify value added time and the red ones non-value added time. So these are the parts of the operation that the customer wouldn't be willing to pay for. So if you're charging the customer £2 for a mug of coffee, they wouldn't be wanting to pay as part of that £2 for you returning your milk to the fridge to stop it getting warm. So if you said to them, yeah, it's £2, but 20 pence of that is your payment for my time putting my milk back in the fridge because I've set out my kitchen incorrectly. So let's imagine the customer demand goes up by 20%. So instead of requiring 380 mugs of coffee a day, they now require 456. So how do we use this information to meet our customer demand? Do we add 20% more workers? Don't think so. Do we run 20% overtime? Doubt it. Do we contract out 76 cups of coffee to a supplier? Definitely not. So we will use takt time to drive waste elimination. So takt is an enabler for work balance. So when customer requirements change, your takt time will change. So now, instead of 380 mugs of coffee a day, we need 456. So when we work that into the calculation, your takt time reduces from 66 seconds to 55 seconds. Which, when we look at that compared to the work stack, means that actually, based on the current process, we can't complete that operation within takt. So the obvious choice is to look at the wasteful activities within that process and try and remove some of the non-value added activities from in there. So a good example would be returning the milk to the fridge. If we were to reorganise the kitchen, move the fridge around, maybe move the coffee making station around, we could remove some of that waste. So a small exercise for you here. Have a look at how we could reorganise the kitchen and the work setup to eliminate some of the non-value adding steps, and see if you can spot which are the value add and which are the non-value add. So, in summary, we know why conventional Western methods will make our businesses unprofitable. your overproduction, push system, waste, stock, inventory. So remember, when you're looking at the 7 wastes, which is covered in one of the other modules in this course, waste is doom. It will, if you don't get rid of the waste, you'll be fighting an uphill battle and your customers will overtake you, and you could potentially end up going down a slippery slope. So try and eliminate as much waste from your processes and your activities as you possibly can. So Takt Time enables work balancing and enables flow, and also helps to drive out the waste within our business. Thank you.